National Latina Institute was originally part of Catholics for Free Choice. There was a very strong need for a Latina organization that really was going to engage the women on the ground and include them on the policy work.
We just felt like women were not part of the Latino civil rights movement, and Latinas were not part of the reproductive health and rights movement. We realized that what we needed to do was actually set our own table.
Even from those early days, we had a commitment to the community. We were doing organizing in NLIRH. We were growing our base in Texas. We were out in Miami. So we were already doing work in the community with such a small team. And it's just been amazing to see, what we were before, where we are today. It's just grown exponentially.
We are dedicated to ensuring that Latinas have access to the health care they need when they need it and to be able to raise their families with dignity and justice.
She responded to something, so I have her email.
And the reason that it's so important that justice is brought into this movement and this frame is that for many communities, it is not enough to have a right on paper. It's not enough even to have an accessible facility where you can exercise your right, because the issues of poverty and discrimination and homophobia have such an intersecting impact on certain communities.
As a healthcare provider to nearly 3 million people every year, we see at Planned Parenthood health centers every day the very tough obstacles that women face to access abortion services, including Latinas. That's why it is so important to have the Latina Institute advocating and fighting for the rights of all women to make their own decisions about whether to have children or not have children, and to access the health care that they deserve and need.
If we are really going to have access to real sexual health information, to reproductive health and rights, if we're really going to increase access to abortion services, we have to engage everyday people across the country, from coast to coast.
The community is really in need of a lot of education, comprehensive sex education, voting rights education.
En las últimas dos elecciones, el voto latino está transformando el país. Vamos a ser la nueva mayoría en este país.
Si es una mujer humilde, si es una mujer con poder,
a eso me dedico, a que las mujeres tengan un nuevo lenguaje sobre la salud reproductiva, que las mujeres no nos quedemos con los conceptos sociales que nos han enseñado por décadas.
Lo que hacemos con ellas es juntas comunitarias, nos reunimos con ellas por lo menos una vez al mes. Trabajamos, las educamos, les damos información de salud y más que nada, lo importante que es utilizar su voz.
The National Latina Institute for Reproductive Health does the most important job, which is centering the most impacted communities in the political and policy fights.
Thanks to the Latina Institute, now we have the Latina Task Force in the coalition, which focuses on looking at all the priorities of the coalition with gender lenses. This has been critical and so important, not only for the community, but for the nation.
Where they don't qualify for things.
The National Latina Institute has always served as a really amazing bridge organization between mainstream organizations and the reproductive justice movement, between national groups and local groups on the ground.
People are understanding the nuance around abortion. They're understanding the importance of birth control. They're understanding the, health inequities that we experience as a community. And people are talking about their bodies and about sex. And I mean, this is stuff that often doesn't happen in our communities.
Y elegí hacer esto porque no es algo de ahora, de acá y de nosotras, sino que es algo que nos atraviesa.
This organization is absolutely committed to the cause. They put their heart and soul into their advocacy work. They're really fearless when you see them go to the Hill and advocate on their issues. They always stand up for the right side, even if it's not politically expedient. And that commitment and the willingness to put so much of their resources into advancing the cause for our community, not just for Latinas, but for Latinos as well, it's really impressive, it's unusual, and it's especially impressive because you've only been at it for 20 years.
Reproductive justice is a core issue for social justice and human dignity in our society. The rights of women to have agency and autonomy with regards to their bodies, their health care, is something we fundamentally believe in and support.
We work and build agents of change who are changing the conversation, changing the policies, being leaders in the community. And when you invest in that, you invest in change in society.
Latina Institute is changing women's lives, giving them confidence, giving them hope to keep fighting, that there's women around the country who are fighting with them, and that they're not alone.
So when we believe in that, there's nothing that can stop us.
Somos poderosas.
Somos poderosas.
Ustedes son poderosas.
Adelante, poderosas.
Sí se puede.
Somos poderosas.
Me siento feliz, soy poderosa.
Somos poderosas.
Me siento orgullosa y poderosa.